Good morning or good afternoon, dear colleagues, wherever you are in this world. I hope you have a very nice Wednesday and great to see you all here. I'm going to give it a minute because I know that quite some people have signed up for this special webinar where we have our colleague from IMC, Pavlo Brilov, IMC Ukraine, who's going to share his experiences on optimizing fleet efficiency. And it is a special guest, a special presenter, because Pavlo was named and crowned and elected as the Fleet Manager of the year 2025, which is a which is an effort, right? If you are sort of selected and elected amongst your peers. To be the fleet manager of the year. And I want to congratulate Pavlo once again. Pablo will share his experiences. His presentation is around 15 to 20 minutes. At the end, we have some time, like we always have, for some questions, which we will then address to Pablo. Uh, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I also see that some of you are already saying hi in the chat and introducing yourselves, so please feel free to do that. Um, Without any further ado, I'm going to hand over to Pavlo. I'm going to mute myself, but I will be in the background. And Pavlo, over to you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good to see you. So, dear colleagues, dear all members of the Fleet Forum, so nice to be today and presenting some of our initiatives. If you hear me well, if you see me well, and I'm gonna today showing my presentation that we created with our logistics team. So I will be starting, if you don't mind. So first of all, I wanna say thank you today for this all participation and start with the first slide. And from International Medical Corp and from Logistics Department, I'm presenting these best practices from Ukraine because we wanted to improve our efficiency and reduce cost and minimize environmental impact all over these years and our work in Ukraine. So the context that we'll be talking today, first it's a short history about International Medical Corp working in Ukraine because it's already take many years. It was first operating in 1999 and then expanding a bit more and more. Then with the first outbreak of war in 2014, our organization became bigger and covering more cities. And with a huge outbreak of war in 2022, by now we have covered our work in 9 cities and big cities, big main cities and big regions, and we served more than 10 million people with many medical services and many mental health support and nutrition programs and gender-based violence. And our fleet started with only a few vehicles in 2022 and up to 90 vehicles all over the 3 years. And best practices that I'm telling you today about, they cover 5 main initiatives. It's carpooling implementation and seasonal vehicle management, in-house transportation of equipment and train travel and driver collaboration for long distances. So first initiative will be carpooling as it was implemented to address underutilized vehicles. And teams with overlapping destinations and times, they were grouped together to share rides and improve for our work. So as you may see kind of from a slide, the main goal was to group people traveling in the same direction into a single vehicle. Because when from logistics perspective, we analyze that we have some overlapping cars. For example, one day different team members of our program staff, for example, two medical staff and two JBV staff, they were going to almost same direction and same city and within the same time, but using different cars. And for us, it was like idea, why don't we put them together in a car? And of course, it was some initial resistance because they didn't like, and maybe it was some scheduling preferences or with a car. But when we explained to them that we will be more efficient, because if we take 4 people in one car, so it means one car will be available for another program to provide. And we started like communicating with our program team members and explaining them what are the benefits of this, and performing this. Like the process was, we asked them to submit weekly their plans, consisting names, destination, time frame, so we could gather these requests and put it in a centralized plan, giving them access, so they saw where do they go, what is the time. And it helped us in 1 year. I think we combined all the trips, and like 27% of one sort of all the trips, they were carpooled, and it helped us to save nearly $72,000. And because when we use less vehicles, so it means we don't spend money for fuel, for maintenance, and also we lessen our carbon footprint, because also when we use less vehicles, so less CO2 emissions, they go to the atmosphere. So next initiative is about seasonal vehicle management. So seasonal vehicle management was about taking into consideration weather conditions and also flexibility of fleet in winter and in summer or warmer seasons. Because when from the beginning we started to rent with a few vehicles, and it costed us some amount of money, but then we rented more cars, and it went to for a bigger prices, and especially from the beginning it was many SUV cars, and they costed a lot, these cars 4x4. But of course they were very useful during winter, because in the context of humanitarian work in Ukraine, we have harsh conditions, sometimes a lot of snow, and these cars 4x4, they really help a lot to get to some distinct areas or some faraway areas, but only during a winter. And this car cost 4x4 $2,000 per month. But when we thought we need to save some money, so and we agreed with rental companies to change to sedan, which cost only $1,000 per month. Because we didn't use this SUV, we didn't utilize it properly during summer. So sedan was really nice also to have, to save money, and also to lessen carbon footprint. And it literally saved us almost 50% of our costs, up like to 90,000 or even $1,100 in 1 year, when we changed 16 SUVs to 16 sedans. And of course, there were some challenges, because when our staff members, they were used to comfort of big cars, and they didn't like small cars. But also we explained them why do we need to do this, why we are doing, because we are saving our resources to help in our country and globally, so we can put this money into some useful things. And as an example, it was really funny as well. Like during the winter, we had some SUVs, but in dark colors. But when we changed to sedans, and rental company gave us um, red or blue cars, it was of course not our organization colors, but okay, some staff members, they really liked it. Oh, like red car, so it passed me or it suits me to my colors, or a blue one. So it was also funny to communicate with them like that, and it helped us strategically from a procurement side of view, because we developed this flexible agreement with rental companies, so they didn't charge us when we changed these cars, and they provided more cars newer. And even when we needed more spacious sedans, because sedans supposed to be like smaller car, but also we could rent it wagons, so the trunk is bigger to transport some things and people. And so later, this initiative was also performed well. So the next initiative I want to talk about is in-house transport of equipment. And we prioritized this in-house transportation of equipment when we when we thought, well, we have available space in our cars, so why don't we use it when we have a trunk, or we can big trunk, so we can deliver some things and don't pay to third-party logistics or any other transportational companies. So it is also will be saving us resources, because when the outbreak of the mission was really emergency response, so not many of cargo or transportational companies, they were available, and but we needed to react very fast. And when, for example, we procure many things in one city, but we are opening offices from a central one to regional offices, and we procure IT equipment, so we can deliver very fast, like laptops, printers, and some also medical equipment we procure in one city and can dispatch it to another city. So, and when our program team members they came to us, like, we need to fast send something, so we agreed, okay, just like simply indicate this in your email, so we will help you, of course. And when we first started this initiative, so people also liked it, and there were no like any other like comments, and as well as a good example, it was a nutrition team operating in all over Ukraine, but in Kiev, and when they procured some equipment or materials for nutrition program to give it out in a region, for example, diapers, because they covered this program for maternity, and there was a small warehouse in our office, so we could take the staff members and take their materials and travel to locations and give it out. And as well, it was also a nice example when 2 years ago, Russian rocket hit the hospital, children hospital near our office, near Kiev, like in 2 or 3 kilometers from us. And we needed to react very fast, because we are international medical corp. We help people, we help hospitals, we cover medical program a lot, and it happened just nearby us. So so we organized very fast, and we sent 2 or 3 cars with people, with medical staff, with mental health workers, and we took some medical treatments, we took water, and this in-house transportation of equipment, it helped us to, like today, to react fast, to take water, and the next day not to wait for any other company to take medical equipment from warehouse and deliver it next day, because we need to do it very fast. And another initiative is train travel as a primary mode of transportation. This happened because when in Ukraine we covered more program with our cars, and there were no available cars, so we started to think, how also we can travel between main cities for business trips, from Kiev, let's say, to Odessa, to the big city, and cover long distance, and not to take it for a long time, or taking more cars. So we thought, why don't we use train travel or any public transportation? And also considering war, we have no other, just like cars or buses or trains. We have no airplane connection between big cities and covering these long distances. And benefits of this are really cost effective, because train tickets, they cost cheaper, and we don't need to buy fuel for cars, and it's faster covering for a distance. And of course, it's more convenient to get like you are going 8 hours of a trip in a car, let's say, and you are limited within your space. But in a train, you can stand up, stretch your legs, and even use here in Ukraine Wi-Fi, so you can work during your travel. And we have these options even for overnight, when travel takes during the night, so person can sleep and get to another city in the morning and refreshed. Yeah, and you know that travel by train, it produces, of course, less of CO2 emissions than cars. So we became greener for this option. And our management, they really helped us to implement this initiative, because we sent emails, we included this all information into our standard operations procedures. So, and even when we travel, so we have, of course, we have options to go by train or to go by car, but first priority to go to another city is, of course, train. And the last but not least is our famous driver collaboration, or KISS contact, as we call it. Because long trips previously they meant fatigue and hotel stays and delay returns, but we initiated this paired driving, and it calls KISS contact. Many people, they laugh about, because they didn't know why it is a KISS contact, and people believed when they stopped by cars, they needed to give hugs or to kisses, but it's just like some acronym or just a play of words, because cars, they kiss each other at one point, and it means like we start from different cities, as I was mentioning before, from Kiev to Odessa, let's say, and one car departs from one city with people and with some luggage, and from another city. So, but they each cover halfway and meet at one point, so we can exchange of our goods and people, so they can meet halfway, and also to get some rest within some time, to eat and to see each other, because people from other offices, they didn't meet before, and it helps us to reduce even to reduce our cost for hotel stays, because when one driver, he goes to a business trip, so it means it takes 2 days, and we need to pay for a hotel for 1 or 2 days, and we need to pay for fuel. But when two drivers they meet halfway. So we do it in 1 day, and each driver get home the same day. And it was really like a pleasure for drivers, and they were happy and satisfied with this initiative. And in the result, it also helped us in saving of money and saving of CO2 emissions, because as well it is everything producing of carbon oxides into the atmosphere. And this KISS Contact initiative was really liked by driver and by our staff members. And in the end, I want to say that during only 2024, we saved almost $400,000 by all of these initiatives, like train instead of cars, and carpooling, and KISS contacts. And we reduced carbon emissions by 400 metric tons, and we reduced travel times, and it really helped all this initiative. And when we speak with all our other offices, or we encourage actually everyone to use this initiative, and don't be afraid to share your ideas with your management, because we all work for improvements, and we need to, especially during these hard times, we need to save money. And just we encourage everyone to share ideas with each other, and because we all work for the better world. And I want to say thank you to everyone today for participating. And if you still got any of your questions, please feel free to write, and I will gladly answer them. Thank you.
Thanks, Pavlo, and yeah, thanks for this clear explanation of all the initiatives that you took in IMC Ukraine to get to these results, right? And I think it is very, very encouraging to see that you looked at different angles. So not only at fleet-related initiatives, but also really started to think about mobility, how you can add different ways of transportation into the mix of fleet, let's say. Super. We have a question from Vera, who first says, well, excellent presentation and initiatives. And she's asking, like, in implementing the collaboration for long distance travel, did it apply only in locations across cities where you have offices?
Not only, but first of all, it goes for the security concern, because if we have this driver collaboration in the cars between offices, and of course when we can support if something happens, so we can support when something happens during the road trip, but not only it was implemented also in regions that we cover for our work, or we needed to deliver some cargo or people, some remote areas where we didn't work, so we also work with this initiative.
Yeah, and I assume that it requires quite a lot of good journey planning, right? That where people have to make sure that they make known when they want to travel, where they want to travel, because that allows you then to organize these KISS moments, these KISS contacts.
Yes, right. But even when with this long distance travel or KISS contact, we couldn't cover, let's say, other cities for a work or inspection, so we could send a car just like for 1 day, 1 or 2 cars for safety concerns, and we never do it for a few days when we don't know the area, so we just like go and check it 1 day and come back.
Yeah, thanks. I've got a question also on the using the train as the primary modality of transport. So, what were the key success criteria for this initiative? If others want to do this, what would you recommend that they that they need to have in place? What did you need?
So we needed to assess our resources and how we can provide the best support to our colleagues and for our beneficiaries. But of course, we when we talk about train travel modality, so also we first of all we assessed how we can go from one city to another. So what are concerns, security concerns, how our staff, because when they travel in a car, so of course it's our driver, he is a staff, and another colleague, and no one else in the car, like not any people. But in a train, of course, you need to make an assessment because so many people travel these days in Ukraine. And when our security assessed it and said, okay, we can go with that. And when we calculated our cost, of course, it could save us. And even train modality, it is more safe during the winter because when you go in the car, so and a lot of snow at the road, and you never know what can happen. It's a slippery road, but train helps this way a bit more. And
Yeah, yeah. And when you looked into adding trains as a transport modality, did you also change the travel policy or the SOPs? Did you make it part of the way how you operate?
yeah, sure. Well, yes, when we started with this initiative, so and we checked, we assessed it, and we started to providing it. So of course we included it from logistics and from finance, HR into our standard operation procedures. And that first of all we need to use train travel first. And we are always here. We are always flexible when we. You just need a solid background. I mean, ground. You just explain why, for example, why you need to take train or why you need to take a car. But as I said, train is really comfortable to travel, and
Yeah.
especially when you travel outside the country.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. I saw there's Wi-Fi on board, so that makes it also it makes it also nice, right, to be in the train. So if you look, there's many fleet managers on this call now. Uh, what would you recommend if they want to implement any of these initiatives? What are your lessons learned throughout this whole process?
You always have to you have to be open with your communication, with your management, with all your colleagues, and you need to listen what we all need as a mission to adapt. Because we need to be flexible and fast to react to adapt. And of course, it's depending on a country situation and environment, as our guest from Timothy he writes, and also it's
Yeah.
answering this question. So don't be afraid. Just like you communicate and you provide the best support you can do, because we all serve for our beneficiaries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Depending on, of course, on country, which country you operate. For example, you cannot use a train, or you just need to use cars. So of course you use only cars, and but you never be afraid with communicating with your colleagues to implement something new, because we all need to think about like cost saving or CO2 emissions when we speak about any of initiatives.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Pavlo. And I really, really like what you say about don't be afraid to try something new, right? And uh, make the case, see what is possible in your country, and also what Timothy is saying, that some ideas can be replicated in other locations, but you have to start trying, whether it is carpooling, whether it is organizing these KISS moments, whether it is looking at other transport modalities than just vehicles. And in some countries that might be trains, in some countries that might be electric bikes if you are operating in a city environment. In some countries it might even include walking between offices, right? So and also the important message that you give is we have to, as fleet managers, we have to support the organization as much as we can in being as cost efficient, as safe, and as environmentally friendly, so that more funds can be allocated to the programs and that we make wise use of that. I would like to thank you very, very much. I mean, our half hour is gone. Thanks a lot for your presentation, and maybe a big round of applause for congratulating you again with the being the fleet manager of the year 2025. And we hope to hear more from you going forward. To everybody in the webinar, I would like to thank you for participation. We are back with a new webinar on the 27th of August. And the topic there will be diagnosing the road safety culture in your organization. So I hope to see all of you then. Enjoy the rest of your day. Pavlo, thanks again, and we'll keep in touch. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day and a good week ahead. Bye-bye.